Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Lioness Den. This is our Sister Supporting Sister series, and this is our last installment. It's been a good month, guys, but this is our last installment. And today, for our Sister Supporting Sisters episode, we have some great fitness instructors who are going to join us and give us great information today. So, with that being said, let's get started. Hi, welcome back to the Lioness Den, a real place to chill. This is a channel dedicated to women, but we don't exclude men. I want to say that because I had someone to text me this week and was like, "So can guys come?" And I'm like, "Absolutely, everyone is welcome." But our topics are for women. So if you want to know something about your woman, then you might want to join us some more. With that being said, let me introduce my guest today. First, I'm going to introduce Lucretia Wilson. She is a Zumba instructor, amongst other things. Um, Miss Moniette Smith, she does mixed fit. I think I have that correct, right, Moniette? And we have Pastor Joyce. I don't know what she wants me to call her today. Joyce England, and her group is Lace Ups. Ladies, what I'm going to do is give each of you a chance to introduce yourself more in depth at this point. So we'll start with Lucretia and go around the same way that I introduced everybody.
Well,
Lucretia?
good morning. As she said, I'm Lucretia. I am a fitness instructor. I've been a Zumba instructor for the past 8 years. I also certified in group fitness. As she said, that is one of amongst many things that I do. I am a mother to two beautiful children, a wife to a loving husband, and I do have some other business ventures that keep me very busy. But it is my pleasure to be here with you all this morning.
My turn. Okay.
It's your turn.
Hey, there we go. Hey, so I'm Moniette Smith, also known as Lil Booty. I am a mixed fit instructor. I've been doing that now for 5 years. I think I'm coming up on 6 years. Um, Thanks to Miss Lucretia Wilson. She got me all into this fitness, and we'll get into that later. Um, I am a mother of three, a grandmother of 12. I think it's 12. And I too am doing a lot of different stuff in the background that is keeping me busy. So I can't wait to discuss that stuff with you guys.
Good morning. My name is Joyce England, and I am a fitness instructor. I'm certified in group fitness and also Zumba, um, cycling, and I also certified in mixed fit. I work a lot in the community. I am semi-retired. I work with women and support and push and help them to find their potential. And health and fitness is my life. Um, I had two adult children, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Well, ladies, I'm so happy that you're with us today. I want to jump right into this topic about exercise because I think all of us, as many times, we start exercise. Let's say not all of you. I'm talking about our viewers and myself. We every year we vow that this is going to be the year that we're going to exercise. We're going to do this, and the New Year's resolutions. And now it is March, and sometimes those resolutions fade quickly before the end of January. So I want to jump into this subject, maybe give somebody some inspiration to restart their New Year's resolution. First off, I want to talk about how did you get into your fitness journey, your journey to where you are today? What prompted you? What is your story? Um, Joyce, can you tell us about your story? Because I hear you have a awesome story that prompted you into this fitness arena.
Julie, she said to me, okay, I don't know how awesome it is, but fitness has been pretty much in my family. In that I grew up in a family where my parents were involved in walking, or my dad a lot more in running. I have aunts that have walked until they were 70 or 80 years old. I have uncles that have walked. So I came up under it subconsciously. And I've always liked music, dancing, body movement. And so, with that being, I was reared up in that, reared in the church, reared around music. So just body movement music was something that always interested me. Got involved in doing different exercises, and fell off as I had children and got into what I was going to do in my life, in education and different jobs that I did. But once I started getting heavier than what I was used to, I knew I had to do something about it. So I got serious with it and started losing some weight. And from there, I went into health and nutrition and just a holistic health and wellness, and then spread it out into my community. So I'm very community centric and women centric. And I'm about getting women involved in being healthy and fit and moving out into the community, because I think we are the catalyst for that. And so that's what I do today with the group Lace Up.
Okay. Yeah. And I'll talk more about this later, but I will tell you, your daughter is an inspiration.
Oh, yeah.
I look at her story all the time, and she's definitely an inspiration. But we'll talk about it a little bit later, because I have some questions for you about that personally.
Okay.
Moniette, let's see. What started you into, besides Lucretia pushing you into doing
Well, that's part
doing
of the
this?
story, though. And she didn't really push me. We were working together. I met Lucretia at work. She is my former work wife. Um, I met her at Sinai Hospital. And they had Zumba classes at Sinai. She was like, "Come on, go with me." And I was like, "Oh, I always wanted to do a Zumba class. So I went, and I just fell in love with it because I really love to dance, but I grew up, believe it or not, a very shy person. I was a wallflower. I was the hold your purse at the club girl. Y'all go ahead, I hold your drinks. I don't want to be seen. But now I love to be the center of attention. And the dancing just made me feel so free. Like, just everything that was worrying me, all the stressors just went away. So then we went from Sinai to the studio that I actually work for now. And we were dancing there. And then she got another certification. And people would say to me, "Are you an instructor?" So I'm like, "No, I just come to the classes." And they was like, "You're really good. You should be an instructor. You're really good." So after that, we were at an event, and they had a demo of Mixed It, and she did a Baltimore club song, which really grabbed me. And once she did that, I was like, "This is for me." What I love about it is that it makes you open up. It takes you out of your comfort zone, and it makes you feel good. It releases endorphins and stuff. And when you're dealing with stress and depression, especially now with COVID and all this other stuff, fitness really, really is medicine. And so that's really why I'm still doing it, because I clearly don't need to lose weight, but I love to dance. I love to see people dance. I love to see them happy when they're doing it and feeling good and all that good stuff. So my story, for the most part, on how I got started.
That is awesome. And you're right. You clearly don't need to lose any weight.
Not a pound.
Uh, Lucretia, let's hear about your journey to becoming a fitness instructor and why you do this.
Well, oh, starts back. So it's funny. My mom and a lot of the women in my family joke about, once you get past the age of 30, you kind of balloon. So most of the women in my family under 30, slim, but petite, but is 30 is the magic number. So that combined with, I had both my children. I told my husband, what's not here by 30 ain't coming. So both my children were before 30, but after my son, I began to have different health issues female health issues. And one of the solutions for that was to exercise. And of course, as they always tell you, to eat better. So that kind of triggered it. The health issues combined with my mom in my head saying, above 30, you got to do a little better. So, working at Sinai, they offer us a discounted membership to their LifeBridge Health Fitness Center, in which I took advantage of. And so at first I started just doing a little cardio mixed with a little weight training. And I forgot the person who actually said, oh, you should try the group fitness classes. I am very depending on what atmosphere I'm in, I'm an introvert. So I was like, group fitness, everybody gonna be looking at me looking crazy. I don't think so. But I went and tried it. And Zumba, which draw to me, is dance. It's basically a cardio workout of just dance. And when I was younger, I danced. I was in camps. My mom kept me in theater, which mostly was surrounded with dance. So I felt comfortable. It was my home. I felt I was back a little girl in like a dance camp. And the instructor, Miss Karen Burkhart, who I love, she became my Zumba mama. She was like, are you going to be an instructor? And I looked at her like, no, I'm good. And I will always come into class. I will always get in the back, the furthest back corner I could get. That's where you will find me. I didn't want anybody behind me because if I messed up on a step, I didn't want nobody to see it. Not realizing that in Zumba, until you see all the movements and stuff, you're always going to mess up the first couple times. But after I was in her class for a couple months, she was like, you should become an instructor. I was like, so maybe a year later, I did become a Zumba instructor. And then later on, I got my certification in group fitness. But the reality was at that point, I was hitting to 30 and I didn't have my babies, had a few baby pounds to get off. And so that's what started it. As of right now, what continues it is, as they say, the COVID-19 that a lot of us have gained. I don't know if I did the whole 19, but I did get about half of it. So that is encouraging me to, even though we're in a virtual environment and it's a little different than being next to somebody and having that camaraderie, the COVID-19 and not gaining a whole 19 pounds encourages me to continue to go on.
Yeah, the fitness journey. Wow, that's what I'm gonna say for me. It's one of those things where we start and we get these things, we get these tools, we bring them in our house. And what I've seen, because Joyce invited me to her group. And even though I don't post, Joyce, I never post. I do stuff, but I never post because you know how you're getting there and you just want to see what it feels like
Happening.
first before you start saying, "Oh, I did this, I did that." So, yeah, you want to do it, and then, like you said, Creisha, the baby fat. Look, Creisha, I'm sorry, the baby fat. Most women who have children, we don't get rid of it because we kind of just carry it. And we aren't inspired enough sometimes. I want to say that because Monette touched on a really, really big thing. We get depressed, we get stressed. We're everyone on here named the different roles that they have with mother, sister, aunt, grandmother. All of these roles, we get so caught up that we forget to think about what it takes to take care of us. And so fitness is a part of taking care of us. And as sisters, we're supporting sisters. This is what we're doing today, telling people how to take care of themselves. I wrote down questions, so I'm trying to make sure I stick to the questions, but I do have one that's not on this list. Maya brought this to me. How many times have you guys seen people that the exercise routine helps them to drop the stress, or has helped you to drop the stress? How many times has that happened for you on this journey, on this fitness journey?
It's a lot.
Joyce? Okay,
Because
Maya.
even recently, I'm sorry, even
No, no,
recently
no.
with
It's good.
with me and this sinus infection that I had, I had to cancel class. I think 1 week because I do a virtual class for Reinvention Boot Camp. So we'll get into that later, but um I just couldn't do it. My head was pounding, it was pounding, it was pounding. So this week I was like, I'm not canceling class. I'm doing what I have to do. So I took the medicine because I do this for everybody else. I don't do it for me. Like I said, I do it because people want to do it. And if you want to do it, I want to help you get to where you're trying to go. So I was determined. I took some medicine and I took a nap. And I don't know how, but I felt so much better. after I taught. When I thought my head would be booming, I felt so much better. And it's just that release of endorphins that you get when you dance and when you exercise, that gets us there. And I think one thing you said, and I wanted to touch on that, is that when we become mothers, we forget about ourselves. We don't treat ourselves the way we should. We don't take that time to make sure that we're okay. And I keep trying to tell people you have to take care of yourself so that you can take care of your family. So make time. If you can spend an hour watching TV, you can spend an hour, just 1 hour working out, maybe 3 or 4 times a week, and it's not gonna be bad. But it's definitely a thing you have to dedicate yourself to. It takes a lot of just a lot of dedication, and you need a fitness accountability partner that won't let you say I can't. It's the only way to do it.
Yeah. Any of the other ladies, would you like to add on to that?
I'll definitely echo the accountability partner. When you just have someone to say, "Hey, you coming to class today? Hey, are you sticking to your routine?" It kind of, even though you like, oh, she texted me again, but you eventually get up and do it. And if you pick the right partner, you understand they're not trying to beat you down, because you should pick someone who's in the same journey with you, right? So we're trying to accomplish some of the same similar goals. So when I call you and say, "Hey, you coming to do that?" 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be right there with you. So having somebody in your life to be encouragement, to be your pusher, to say, "Hey, I'm in this thing with you," it is the best thing than as opposed to trying to walk it out yourself, because there's so many distractions in life that you can set out, okay, I'm going to exercise this morning, but your kid get up and they not feeling well. So your 30 minutes you had set aside, you're tending to them. I'm going to exercise when I get home. But you get off work late, you get home and you got to cook dinner. So it's all these distractions. But if you have someone who is committed to being there with you and walking with you, it makes the journey so much easier.
Absolutely. Lucretia used to be that person for me. And yeah, she was my coach and all of that. And I fell off. I won't say she fell off. I fell off because, those things that we run and do. It's like, and for me, I'm doing 50 things. Anybody who knows me can tell you that I have 50 things in the fire at all times. So we're going to get back on it though. Okay. I promise you. And then it's Joyce down here. She has this, every morning you get a notification from the Lace Ups group that kind of also says, "Hey, get up, do something. Get up, do something." I enjoyed your post last week about the salad.
Oh, did
You
you?
had yeah. She had a post on how to make the salad and how to portion. And those things are topics that people don't understand.
Yeah.
When you've been doing something forever, you just keep doing it. Yeah, I'm gonna have a big steak. Yeah, I'm eating a salad, so it matters. Not the portion size of the salad matters. With that being said, because you all have different groups that you work in, how do you inspire your people in your group, and what kind of success stories have people who have been involved with your groups told you? Those win stories that if you had a banner that you could hang, you would put their story on your banner. Tell us about some of those, please.
I'll say the group started online. Lace Up did in July, so it's been, I don't know how many months that is. July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 8 months, and in the 8 months, there's been weight loss. There's been body fat loss. Um, there's been people that have had COVID that started with the group and started walking and saw themselves doing things that they never thought they could do or would do. And so that makes me happy because I want to see people living the best life possible. And when they do, they'll help other people around them to live the best life possible. And I think dance and exercise, all of that, along with nutrition, because we can't keep nutrition out of it, helps us to live a good life. My approach is holistic. It is definitely weight loss, but not weight loss only, just to say I've lost weight. Your life is more than the amount of weight that we have. And so I like to also put that emphasis on what you're eating, what's happening with you mentally. Are you taking time out for some relaxation, massages, some yoga, things like that that will help that total person? And as I forgot her name, the young lady said earlier, accountability, both of them said accountability to me is crucial. Accountability and support. We need people that we can go to and we can tell them I missed today, or they'll be on our back about it. And then we need to, support people with their wins, and also when people fall back, because it's a journey. And so we move forward, but then sometimes we move back. And when those times happen, we need to regroup, and we need people there that help us to regroup. So that's what Lace Up really is about, to help us through this fitness journey.
Great. That is wonderful.
With
Yet?
Yeah, with me, I just love to hear people just doing better all around, whether it's their mood. I'm big on confidence because, like I said, I used to be very shy. I had very, very low self-esteem, and sometimes I still battle with self-esteem. Because my daughter got on me today. I don't think I'm the prettiest flower in the bouquet, but and I beat myself up about it. So when I can get a person, I'm doing a song and I can get them to just work their little body a little bit more and feel more comfortable about the way they look, it's easier for them to reach their goals. I always tell people, love what you have. So what, you got them extra cinnamon
Mhm.
rolls and stuff like that. Love them, because until you accept them, you're not going to be able to deal with them. So I had one girl, one friend of mine that started working out with me, and she didn't stick with it too much. But she started working out with me. She had diabetes, and her doctor told her, if you don't get your A1C down, you're going to be on insulin again. So we started walking, and she started taking classes with me and drinking a lot of water, like I told her. And eventually her A1C went down. And her biggest thing was she was able to get off of, she takes blood thinners as well. She was able to switch to a blood thinner that would allow her to eat dark greens because she couldn't do it. So it was so exciting to her that she could then eat a salad, and it was all due to her exercising. So I like for people to just, whatever it is, if you just want time for yourself, if you want to lose a few pounds, if you want to gain confidence, or you just want to be seen somewhere, you just want to be with some people, all of that, when they get it, it just makes me feel like I've done my job.
Did you have anything to add, Lucretia?
I guess for me, one, seeing Miss Monette, who started being an instructor after me, still an instructor, and I take her classes. Okay, I go to her classes. So me, from in my fitness journey, those who've been in my class, those other instructors that have been around me have been inspirations to me. And a lot of time as an instructor, you won't have students to come back and say, tell you about their wins, or so you just never know. Sometimes you like, okay, everybody left my class smiling or not smiling, but excited about the workout, because every workout doesn't leave them smiling. So sometimes you don't know about the little wins, but I they inspire me when I see them out in the world. I've always taught, when I did my classes, I was at Reinvent You with Monette, and the clients went to multiple classes. So to see them go from doing something like dance, doing a strength training class, and to see them reach their goals was so inspiring to me. It actually helped me to keep going, because as instructors, we have our days like, I don't know if I still want to do this anymore. I don't know if I want to, at least I did. I don't know if I want to go to the class and push. I'm just tired, because although we're instructor, we're in front of the class, we have our smile on. There's multiple things in the background in our lives that just have you stressed out sometimes. But I found that once I got in the class, and I think Monette alluded to that. Once you get in a class and everybody's moving, everybody's having a fun time, somebody's favorite song comes on and they be like, that's my song. It was inspiration to me. It was uplifting to me. So everybody I come in contact in some way, shape, or form have inspired me to continue on this journey.
Wonderful. Um, you know, I said I was going to get back to Miss Joyce's daughter um, because she inspires me. I have to tell you that. Um, just her getting up and walking again after her experience, and I'm having a personal experience myself. So my next question is, what do you tell people who they can't do the full exercise, they can't do the full training due to health issues as far as walking or standing? What do you do? What do you tell them to inspire them, or just what do you tell them? Period. Because it's painful just to do some things. How do you inspire them? And I'm really directing this at Miss Joyce because I've seen that she's done it. So I'd like to know more about how she inspired her daughter to do this. You muted yourself, so we can't hear you. Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
sorry. I think I would
That's
say
okay.
that everybody has the right to a fitness journey. Whether they have a disability or not doesn't preclude them from being able to be a part of a class. And that we can, as instructors, think outside the box, that we can have somebody in a wheelchair in our class. Now, they may not do everything that we will do, others will do, but some way they can be a part. And so I kept looking at her and saying, Marcy was just had a massive stroke. And then where she couldn't do anything, she was just on the bed. She had to be cleaned, everything, no walking, no talking, nothing. And then as time, thanks be to God that we prayed and trusted God to help her, she was able to get all out of the bed. And then, a little bit more, we could get her in a wheelchair and just things like that. But for me, and talking with her, I was like, we want to go for the goal. So, let's see what we can do. And Marcia started with the walker, just, going back and forth, lifting her feet. And so I would sit with her and we would lift our feet and just to see what could be done. After a while, Marcia was lifting her feet with the walker back and forth, sometimes walking back and forth or just standing there. And she was doing 10,000 steps a day. And I was like, what? I'm not even doing 10,000 steps a day. And so it was with that mindset that everybody, again, has a right to fitness. Everybody has a right to it. And music causes people to move, and whether that's just their hands or whatever. But I think as instructors, what we could do is just think in terms of how can we include them in. And so, yeah, she's doing really well and starting to even walk some without a walker. And from where she came from to now is a miracle. And that impacted my life so that when I had a class, I was teaching at the Y. I haven't taught since COVID. I teach cycling for people with Parkinson's disease, and I taught other classes, chair yoga for older adults and things like that, and I've subbed. So I look for things that will help, and not necessarily traditional all the time, but we can think out of the box. And I think that's what happened with Marcia.
Yeah, yeah. That all I can say is I just been watching. A lot of times on Facebook, people watch quietly; they don't say anything. But
Yeah.
she's had an amazing, amazing story from where she was to where she is now,
Yeah. I
and
mean, she
it
couldn't
it
do
inspires us.
anything, actually, just nothing. This was 2017. And my daughter lived on her own. She was a manager when she was 40 something and had a massive stroke out of the clear. So I brought her home out of the rehabilitation center, nursing home, and brought her home. And I asked God to help me because I didn't know, I've never taken care of anybody like that as an adult, just as children. And it was a lot, but let me say this, going to exercise helped me to help her because I would do all I could for her while she was at the center. And then I would hit the Y and hit Mixed Fit with Donette. And then I would hit um, another class I would hit with Carmen, and then I would do body pump with Maggie. Those things kept me going, and I had something to look forward to because being a caretaker is a lot. And so, yeah, exercise helped me in that respect, and just helped me to help her.
Yeah,
Can
that
I
is
just
like
say that that's amazing?
it
That
is,
is
isn't it?
absolutely
It is really
amazing.
amazing.
And
Yes,
and
yes.
she's right
When
because I have several people that will tell me I can't do all that booty popping and I can't do that, but I want to be in your class. Well, sit down in the chair, honey, and just do what you can. I
exactly.
have, and everybody knows. I'm sure everybody in the fitness world in Baltimore knows Natasha Gray. She's a real heavy girl, only gets around in a wheelchair. And she was having a problem getting to class because mobility would always have her late, or they would say they couldn't transport her and her chair because she bought her own chair to sit in because she didn't trust nobody else's chair to hold
Mhm.
her weight. And she don't live far from me. So when she wanted to come to my class, I would go pick her up. She'd be like, all right, I'm gonna shove myself in your car and get my chair, I put it in the trunk, and we would go to class. And it was the best thing for her. And unfortunately she had gotten ill and she'd gotten too big and had to use a motorized wheelchair, which doesn't fit in my car. So
And
it's
then,
really hard for her to get her exercise in. But I do, Joyce, that's amazing. I swear. And that's one of the reasons why I want to get certified in chair fitness because I want to be able to help older people, to be able to move around. And because I used to take care of my dad and he had a stroke and just couldn't do nothing. And he suffered real bad muscle atrophy because all he did was lay around. Where if he had a daycare that he went to, because I was at work, I couldn't do it. If he went to a daycare where they did the whole exercise in the chair, he might have been better off. So yeah, you got to offer different things to different people so that everybody can participate.
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
definitely feel like for the community, because we deal with community. We're in the community, and the community is made up of all kinds of people. And if we're going to really service them, we do have to think differently. How can I? What else can we do? Maybe there's a section in our class for them. And if people know that you have something like that, they'll come because people don't offer things like that. Older people will come, or yeah, just a different population.
Yeah. We just, and I'm not a fitness instructor like you guys, but if there is something open that when you're having certain handicaps, you will show up because a lot of times you feel like I can't do that. Um, Lucretia, she was showing me different stretches and things that you can do when you have sciatica, which a lot of us have sciatica, especially when we're a certain size, and even when we're not. Sciatica is like a almost normal now, unfortunately, for women especially, and it can be debilitating when it comes down to just your regular movements. Can you share some of that with us, Cretia? Lucretia.
It's fine. You can call me Krisha. So, and part of it was my own personal health issues. I had started out driving a lot, and so my hips got out of line, and I also had scoliosis, and my curvature is in the lower part of my spine, and on top of that, female issues, which is in the lower part. So all that compiled on top of each other, uneven hips. My one of my discs was herniated. My scoliosis, so I ended up in PT. So a lot of the things I learned in PT, I always share with others, especially when they complain about the same pain or the same situation, and understand that I am smaller than most, but bigger than some. And so, as you said, it doesn't mean because you're considered obese or overweight, you're the only one with the situation. A lot of time, people equate being smaller to being healthy, and that's not the case. I am a testament to that. A part of after I had my first child, I remember we lived on the third floor of an apartment building, and I had a grocery bag, and my baby in the car seat. And I got to the top of the floor, and I said, "Oh, this is not going to work." I could not breathe. And at that point, I was small. I probably was smaller than I actually am right now, but I could not. I literally was gasping for air. So smaller doesn't mean healthier, and we suffer with these issues that a lot of people. I'm not a medicine person, and I understand some people they take their Advil, they take their Tylenol, and there's nothing wrong with it. If it works for you, that's great. But for me, because I've never been a medicine person, I always look for holistic remedies for whatever I'm going through. Whether it's stretches, whether it's a certain exercise that works for me, so I'm able to share that information with others. Well, if that doesn't work, then try this, try that. And my perspective is, everybody doesn't always deal with everything the same way. So if I can offer my piece, and then I always try to say, and you can also go look at this, because that may work for you. This worked for me, but that may work for you. So I try to educate myself on multiple things, because I understand everybody's body is different. Everybody's mindset is different. I can share with you my experience, my journey, but I also want to be able to share other things in case exactly what I did doesn't work for you.
That is yeah, that's wonderful. And the the weight loss journey, or the wholeness journey, because I think Joyce said holistic. So that's just a complete, it's just not just weight loss, but that holistic is the whole person. Sometimes the exercise can be the beginning of that holistic healing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's major, because as females, we tend to not consider our whole person, because we're made to be nurturers. We're always nurturing someone else and not nurturing ourselves. And I believe that's what Monette was talking about when she came on, is that we're not thinking about us. I got, my head is full because of sinus, but I got to get this together for everyone else.
Yeah.
It's something, women, we are definitely made special by God. I will say that, because we no when you think about all you do as a woman and a mother and a sister and an aunt and a grandmother, and some of us has titles as pastors and first ladies, and you're over multiple things, you have multiple duties. We get them all done within a day sometimes, and we forget to take care of us after we take care of everyone else. And it's one of those things. I wanted to talk to Joyce a little bit more about um, her group, because I've been watching closely since we talked. You added me in, and I get to see everything. A lot of people are inspired to share, and that's the one thing you don't see in a lot of groups. They'll come, but they don't share. So, how did you inspire them to share?
I think because I started the group out with the intention that we encourage, we support, and you feel free to share portions of your journey without judgment. And that was important to me because there's so much to offer in the fitness realm, and people do different things. And so I would wanted to see a bit of each person's journey, what they're doing. Some people do Irish dancing, some people do Zumba, mixed fit, yoga, just all kinds of things, Pilates, and I wanted that to be out there. And then I think the fact that it is about we encourage. You're always saying, great job. I try to go through there every day and write something on everybody's post. You did great. Fantastic. Glad you're back. Haven't seen you. And just knowing that somebody's caring, as both of the young ladies said earlier, just to, accountability and support. When you're thinking about me, you knew I didn't post for a couple of days. Yeah, I knew you didn't post. I was going to get around to you. And I think the atmosphere is such as that. And it's not, what do I want to say? You know how sometimes you can have our groups, but they're clannish and they only deal with that particular small piece in there. But this is open to anybody, that, especially women. The women is the focal point here because I believe women are the catalyst. They change wherever they go. We are change agents. So that's why I say start with a woman. You want change, start with a woman. Encourage a woman. Tell this woman that she has the right to be healthy. Her community has a right to be healthy. Her family has a right to be healthy. And we have the responsibility to take our health into our hands and not wait for anybody else to come and bring us health initiatives. We are that initiative. Teach, educate, and support, encourage, and we can build.
Yes,
I hope I didn't say too much.
That was so good. That was so good. That was so good. I mean,
do this, man. It's in my gut, and that's why we don't have time to dismiss anybody. Everybody counts. Everybody has something to bring to the table. Everybody, and so it's not that top layer that can do the exercise so well are the ones that we only deal with. No, it is the back layer, the middle layer, the person that is not in time. Everybody brings something to the table. And I feel like my job is to find out, what do you bring to the table? Because we need it. What is your piece on Lace Up? We need that. We need to see it. And yeah, and that's what I push for,
And it also makes them feel good, like Joyce said, when you not really call them out, but when you notice that they did something or they didn't do something,
Exactly.
Because everybody wants to be seen. I don't care what they say. Everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be cared about. And that's one thing that we as fitness instructors do. We just care. Because here's the thing. You have to care to be a fitness instructor because fitness does not pay the bills. It does not pay the bills. It sometimes it gets you gas, maybe some groceries. But unless you own a format or a gym or you have some incredible 100 people per class following, it doesn't pay the bills. This comes from our heart. This comes from us caring about people. And most of it is from something that we've dealt with internally with ourselves that makes us want to help other people feel what we felt when we did what we did, when we made that big move, or we lost that 15 pounds, or my knee stopped hurting because I started doing these stretches, or that type thing. We are influencers, actually.
Definitely. Just as women alone, we're influencers. Think about it. We influence our kids. We influence our coworkers. We just influence. As soon as we open our mouths, or just people watch our actions, we influence what's going on around us. And Moniette, you've worked with us, for Lucretia and myself, for a couple of years with our community service activities we do. Now, I have to tell you, you said you're an introvert. I have never, ever, ever, ever seen it. So I have to say this. You pull people from the sidewalks into the middle of the street on a yearly basis to do mixed fit.
Because, again, when I was younger, I used to be picked on a lot because I look like my dad. And my mother was not very good at making me a girly girl. So I was always called a little boy. I was always called ugly. My mother didn't do my hair. Like I was just ugh. So I tried to stay in the background. Fitness brought it out.
Mm.
Like it just made me want to be seen. It made me want to do things and just again, like I said, make people feel the way I felt once I came out of my introvertness, if that's a word. And sometimes I still am. Sometimes I just want to be left alone. I just want to sit in the corner. Sometimes I even hate the fact, oh gosh, I got to teach class today. Man, I don't feel like it. And I drag and I complain the whole time. But when that beat drop,
That's it.
I don't know nothing about that bad day. Like I know nothing about it. So I mean, again, it was I still can be a little introverted. I can be like, leave me alone. I want to be in a shell. But most of the time, I just want to be out there and be seen.
I mean, I love your class. I just have to tell you that
Thank
anytime,
you.
and everyone on here knows Pastor Mark. He
Yeah.
has run from
Oh, I done got him twerking.
what? Yes, she's had Pastor Mark out in the middle of the street, twerking in Mixfit. It has been hilarious. The people that you least expect when Manya gets
Yes.
up at the back to school event each year, they come running from all over the place just to be a part
Hmm.
of her class,
I
and it
love
has
it.
been amazing. Manya, you're beautiful. I'm just gonna say
Thank
it,
you.
and your
Thank you.
spirit is beautiful. You're just a beautiful person all over, and it just
Oh, thank
it causes
you.
people to draw to you. And so it's been what have we been doing, Acretia? 4 or 5 years now. And I think Mariette's been with us for at least three. And from the
It would have
first
been, I think
time,
last year would have made the third year, but COVID
okay,
messed that up.
COVID messed it up. But I'm telling
Hmm.
you, from the first time she showed up, we had people running from everywhere because she was just out there and she did 2 classes for the day, but people were just like coming from everywhere just to be a part of her Big Spit. So, it excites people. And that's what I see. I see that with Miss Joyce. Her site is excited. They you can tell, just you can feel it from what's going on in Lisa. Mariette, I've seen you in person. People are just excited. And Lucretia talked about I haven't seen her. I did see you, Lucretia, because we were in your class and the women in the class, it was so amazing because Lucretia's class is kind of different than your regular class. Sometimes she had class and then sometimes she had speakers to talk about, to do that other part for us as women. And so I still remember the class I was in with you. I came to one of the sessions and you had somebody speak about creating your vision. Who are you and why are you doing what you're doing? I even have a clip from it in my phone
Ooh,
still from that class because it was so good. But that's the thing, we are not one women are not one faceted.
Now,
We're not one faceted. We do so much, but we inspire so many. Um, ladies, I have to tell you, our time is starting to run out, but this has been such a great conversation. I've enjoyed it so much. I really, really have.
oh,
This is what Sisters Supporting Sisters is
yeah.
about. This is what the Lioness Den is about. This is a place where we as females, especially, we come just to let our hair down and just talk about the real
Mm.
stuff that we don't get a chance to talk about. I never end a program, any program, without giving everyone an opportunity to tell people where to find you, what you're doing. So we're going to do that at this time. We're going to talk about what you're doing and where people can find you because this is not the last time that we want to hear from you guys. So let's start off with Lucretia. Lucretia, tell people where they can find you and what you're up to.
Oh, what am I up to? Everything. I am on Facebook, LA Wilson. I do have an Instagram as well. It's at Mrs. MRSLAW 81. Um, Beyond being a fitness instructor, I am also I assist my husband in running the ministry, the Connect Church of Baltimore, where he is the lead pastor. In addition, I also have a travel agency, and that is Wilson's Travel, and you can find that by emailing me at info@joinwilsonstravel or joinwilsonstravel.com. And I also do other minor stuff. I help my children. My daughter has her own business, so I help her with her business. But if you have any inquiries about anything, you can also email me at mrslucretiawilson@gmail.com. For fitness, if you're looking for a ministry in the Baltimore area to join, or if you want to plan some vacations, if you're vaccinated and want to get somewhere, you can email me.
Thank you, Lucretia. Again, women, we're doing so many things. She got like 10 hats on. I think I saw 10 that she pulled on. This is me. So, Maya, tell us where we can find you. And I'm going to share your information.
Okay, so right now, I am teaching for Reinvent You boot camps. That is, we do virtual classes right now. I believe in the next couple of weeks we're going back to outside. So drop in will be $10 a person for drop in, or you can get a membership. Um, I think that's the only. So I did start a band through the band app to do classes for my students because they wanted me to do dancing. But Reinventures got me so busy that I'm having a hard time finding a day to dedicate just to them and still have time for everything else I do. But you can hit me up on my email or my Facebook, Instagram. I'm Monyet Smith everywhere. I don't try to be fancy with all the crazy names. I also have a crafting business where I do custom shirts, glasses, masks, anything you want your name on, family reunion shirts, memorial shirts, sadly enough, things like that. I do. What else? I think that's about it, but I got a lot going on right now.
Yeah, you put on about 5, 6 hats too, there, Maya. I saw everybody putting on their hats. And Joyce, tell
Uh,
us where we can find you.
I put up my email is jengland1414 @gmail. You can find me on Facebook at Lace Up, LACE, capital UP. It is a group that you have to join. So when you go in and you ask to join, there's some questions that we ask that you answer to just basic questions that you would, follow the rules, do the things like that, and not harm anybody, keep the information inside. And when you say you agree to those basic rules, then you're let into the group. And you can get a chance just to come in, look around, um, see what you like, go back and look at the posts. People are walking, people are running. And we have challenges once a month. And so you can get in on a challenge if you don't have a routine. I do other things. I try not to overdo. But what I'm doing now is I do fitness and health. I'm doing some Zoom things with different people that are asking questions about, fitness and health, disabilities, Parkinson's and health, just things like that. And I also do like marriage counseling and some of the things that I've done since I pastored on this side, things like that. Yeah. Oh, I do work with Friends of Patterson Park a lot too, in the community. I work closely with them at Patterson Park or other parks around the area. It may have to do with Zumba because I'm part of a group of women a Latino group of women that I've danced with for about 5 years in exercise. So I do a lot of things like that in the community. Yeah.
Yeah.
And can you
Again.
approve my membership, Joyce? I just joined your group.
Oh, most
Sorry.
definitely.
So did
Yeah.
I.
Oh, did you? Come in and look and you post something, Um,
Yeah.
we have time is out.
Oh no, we had like go ahead.
the only
I'm
thing I
sorry.
have done, sometimes people come on and it's not for birthdays and sermons, and they just try to put so much on there. And I tell them that this is not what it is. Look at what it is. And if they continue, then sometimes I have to take them off, which I hate to do. I do, but it's not that site. You have to use your personal site for this thing. But this site, it's wealth of information. you'll meet different women. And again, the heart is we are one. Everybody brings something. That's my line. Everybody brings something to the table. And what you have is needed. We need it. So, yeah, fitness makes you confident. I am also one that is an introvert. I'm a reader, so I can get in the room and that's it. But the calling that God has on my life, I can't do that. I have to be out here and giving and doing and using what I have to, make sure that our communities are healthy. I'm not waiting for the president. I'm not waiting for Democrats. I'm not waiting for Republicans. I'm not waiting for independents. We take responsibility. With the help of God, we can change our community. And that's all.
Excellent.
Amen.
Absolutely. No, that was great because the funny thing, and I am about to end. The funny thing about this panel is everyone has said they're introvert. And I've seen all of you in action, and it does not show. You guys are like out there doing it all the time. I am inspired to do more because you guys are like out there, just making it work, making it do what it do. Again, if you're watching us today, please like our page and subscribe to our YouTube. We're coming back. This is the last in this particular series, but we are not going away. We're all about women. Our heart, my heart, I'm going to say, my heart is for women and to make sure that we know who we are, know whose we are, and know where we're going. So stay tuned, stay with us. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Lucretia. Thank you, Mariette. Look, Mariette, you did great, and we're at the end. Look at that.
Is there information?
The Claritin didn't make me say silly stuff.
Ah!
Lydia, is the information for each person listed in chat?
It is in the chat, in the private chat. There for each person, the information is listed, and I put it on the screen for everyone to see as you were speaking. Okay. So as we begin to end, again, thank you, ladies, so much. This is where you can find the Lioness Den on Facebook. So please like our page, share this live with your friends. There's great information here that will inspire you and get you back up to moving, back to completing those goals that you set at the beginning of the year. Thank you for joining us once again. We will see you in a couple of weeks with something new, something fresh, and something pertaining to women. God bless you. We love you and have a blessed and wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.